I just realized a minute ago that I wasn't recording audio. Hopefully you can hear me now. This is spirea that I'm watering. Should get about 6 foot tall, 6 foot wide. Some parts of the country is still cold. It's getting fairly warm here in eastern North Carolina, so I thought I'd make sure to keep watering these young plants that I planted a few months ago. Haven't had rain for a couple weeks. I think there's rain in the forecast soon. Don't worry, this video will not be a Jay watering plants video. That would just be silly. But did want to show you that I do water my plants, because you have to take care of the plants. Eventually, once the plants get established, they kind of take care of themselves. But for now, I give them some watering. And in case you're wondering, I have to come up with a better system to water these plants with. Running out with the jug is not cool. Thinking about getting a 35-gallon container that I could turn around and put on the back of my cart, and then tow that with the electric mower down to the plants. I won't have to water them forever, but during these dry spots, especially since they're new plants, I will have to give them watering. So I'm thinking about doing that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okie dokie. You know, I just forgot that I didn't say what I normally say, which is welcome back to the channel. So today, or now, I'm going to get into the meat and grit of it, which is I'm going to start showing you my raised beds, or building my raised beds, because it's getting warmer out. The soil's warming up, and I need to start planting very soon, because I have tomato plants which are getting sizable, and a few other things, and I have potatoes that are coming, and yeah, so I'm going to start building that. And if you recall, I don't know if you could see some of these poles here in the video. Hopefully you can. If you recall, basically where I'm standing right now is inside of the vegetable garden, or the proposed vegetable garden. So that being said, that's where I'm going to put the first raised bed. And the raised beds I'm going to do, because the garden is going to be 40 foot wide by 80 feet long, okay? So that's a lot of garden. That's just the vegetable garden. I'm going to try to flash a picture up on the screen now. And so that's basically the layout of the garden. Again, there'll be a greenhouse at one end. There'll be the beds at the other. There'll be long beds. The long beds that I show in the picture on the one side, if you need to go back, go back. They'll be for corn and melon and pumpkin. So they're actually going to be on ground, and I'm going to use a no-dig method for that. I'm going to be putting down the cardboard on top of the grass here. I'll be putting dirt on top of that, and then, you know, nature will do its thing, and I'll plant into that, and blah, 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 blah. Science, we'll get into that another day. The raised beds I'm doing here today, they're going, instead of going this way, or I should say one way, as you saw in the picture, I'm going to do them lengthwise, because I have an 80-foot length. So I'll be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another row of 1, 2, 3, 4. That being said, again, today I only have enough material for 2 beds. One is going to be a pre-built, which I'll show you in a minute, and the other one is going to be a bed made out of cedar. As stated before, these 2 posts, these 2 bamboo stakes, they represent the gate, or what will be the gate into the vegetable garden. It will represent the gate going into the vegetable garden. I have obviously yet to build all of that, but we'll get to that, and that'll be a video for another day, of course. And then, of course, the vegetable beds I'm doing today are going to be going to the south of this gate. To the north of this gate will be other stuff. And again, you can go back and reference that drawing I just posted up a few minutes ago. And like all things I do, because I'm learning and I'm figuring this out and I'm new to the area, is subject to change. So the drawing you see today may not be the drawing that is still around in 6 months. So I'm gonna get the first raised bed. This right here is a Greens, that's the name of the manufacturer, Greens Fencing Company. But they build a number of cedar raised beds and fences and I think a few other things. But I got one of their kits, relatively inexpensive, off of Amazon. If I remember, I'll leave the link below. But yeah, let's get to building. Oh, look at that, need help. That's always nice when you see that right inside. Screws, important. Corner, 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 corner. If you've been following me for any length of time, I did mention way back some episode, I can't remember. If I do, I'll post it up. The soil here was good. I have earthworm castings, which is worm poop, essentially everywhere, which means the ground is nice and fertile, essentially. There's a lot of nutrients in it, hence a lot of earthworms. It retains moisture, which is good, but it retains moisture a little too well because it's very heavy in the clay. I could plant directly into that, and again, as I just said a minute ago, I'm going to do the pumpkins and the corn essentially on the ground. On the ground, they'll eventually put the roots into the ground. But I'm going to do the beds raised for a simple reason: is better control of the soil, better control of hopefully pest management, and when we have those crazy downpours and we get a lot of rain, the plants aren't going to be flooded out on the ground. But with a raised bed, the water will be able to drain down at least to the ground level, where it can then sit for a while and then eventually drain away. So long boards, more long boards, pretty cap corner posts, more long boards, more long boards, more long boards. Last one. So this bed is a 4x8 bed, and these boards are all 4 foot long. And this green system is very simple. I've used it before. Simply, it has these grooves within the posts, and you just take the boards and you slide them in, and then you go to the next post, the next side, and if you need persuasion, you get the mallet of power. Okay, so there you go. 2 raised beds done. The first one is a manufactured piece, bought on Amazon. The wood is, I think it's just shy of an inch. Same thing with the other raised bed that I built from scratch, as it were. So both boards are about 1 inch thick. In the case of the cedar bought from Lowe's, that is 1 by 8, I believe. Or 6, 1 by 6. So it's 1 by 6 stacked dual high, gives about 11 inches. This bed is about 10 and a half inches approximately. They're both 4 by 8. There's going to be another one further down. I actually have to space these 2 feet apart and 2 foot off the fence line. And then there'll be another 3 over here of some design. I am thinking about where I am getting cypress wood, which is supposed to be just as good as cedar so far as rot and water resistance, theoretically. So I'll be building a bed out of that, and I might be purchasing a bed or 2 made out of metal. That too will be interesting. Eventually, for long-term longevity, I would probably like all metal beds here raised, and that's for durability and also so I don't have to go bending over to obtain my crops, as it were. 48, in 10 years I'll be 58, in 20 years I'll be 68. But for now, 2 beds done. I will do another video where I talk about filling the beds. Hopefully by that time I'll have my cypress bed built, and then we'll probably start planting in the next week or 2. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you don't follow me on Instagram, give a follow on Instagram. I'll be posting up pictures there of stuff you won't see here on YouTube. And yeah, I think that's about it for today. Yeah, that's quite a bit. I have to go take the missus out to lunch. I'll catch you on the next one.